We're live.
Hola Madridistas, welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. If you guys are new here, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 4K. Pick up our sponsors as always, Fanatics and Talksport. Everything on LBR is officially powered by the Talksport Fan Network. Talksport, as you all know, is the biggest sports radio station in the world. Go show their socials some love. Also check out Fanatics, official partners of La Liga and Real Madrid. Make sure you use our affiliated link in the description below. Right then, we had one job at hand, right, Farooq? To take the 3 points and maintain the distance that we already let slip. It was 5 points when we won the Clasico. Then it was three. Now it's one, and that's all you need to know going into this post match. The performance is a completely different conversation altogether. I don't know, Farooq, if you remember, the camera is showing Hakimi in the stands. He is thinking, what the fuck is going on, right? A team he used to play in didn't have this sort of lethargic, wayward aimlessness to its game, to its fundamentals. I shall say, because too many top players, too many core players just look out of their depth. Xabi Alonso at the press conference is saying the connection with the players is getting better. We know each other more now. Farooq, do you think that's a true statement?
Absolutely not. I mean, if there's anything, this is actually it's a draw, but it absolutely feels like a defeat. This is the worst game, including the game against Atletico Madrid. Honestly, this is the worst game since the 4-0 defeat against Paris. This is absolutely shambolic. It's completely uncalled for. How can you even tell me that the connection is getting better? Bro, did you watch the game? What? Bro, just tell me, what was the lineup? Was it a 3-5-2? Was it a 4-3-3? What? Bro, with all the attacking players we have, you have Fran Garcia with the jersey 20 on the pitch, playing as a left winger or whatever the hell it was.
But is it his fault, Farooq, or is it Xabi Alonso's
No, of
fault?
course. That's what I'm saying to you. He can't come here and be telling me that the connection is getting better, and then I'm seeing we have two left backs playing on the pitch. Bro, what the hell?
But that's the thing. That's the thing. If he wants to experiment, right? If he wants to go, let's play a bit different. Fede Valverde, has had reported knocks throughout the past couple of weeks. Vinicius coming off of an international break. Giving Rodrigo a start. All good. Mixing it up. It doesn't hurt to really give the French players a few minutes. But you should be looking at guys like Gonzalo, who should be in the starting 11. But no, he can't, because there is a clear hierarchy in this dressing room. With Xabi Alonso, when he famously walked in, everyone was kind of shouting with praise, saying that he is going to completely de-establish the pecking order and make sure people are on their toes. Yeah, we saw that with with a bit with Vinicius, but I do think it's more down to his attitude issues more than his overall game. Although Vinicius has been on and off for majority of the season, but I do think this man is not up for the job. This is a job clearly above his pay grade, and I feared for his position. I feared for his experience. Even before he actually stepped foot inside the Valderebas, because with every passing week, with every passing game, there are very clear, telling signs that the players just don't look like they give a fuck. There is no better way to put this. There is no milder way to put this, because the amount of times I see, runners being unmarked, players not really playing the game as it is meant to be played, like maybe choosing an extra pass, or maybe using a bridge pass to actually get into the final third. It's all Mbappe taking on 4-man, Vinicius running into 3-man. I wonder why. I wonder why there is such a disconnect between what we have seen all throughout these years, with such brilliant players, and this side, Farooq. I said this in the group chat, right? It may be a bit exaggerated. I might have been caught up in my feelings a bit, but this is as worse as it gets. The Solari Lopetegui era, I do feel for them because they were coming off of the back of a big Champions League three-peat and Cristiano leaving, and it was a whole complete reset. A bunch of new players trying to find their footing. But this side, Farooq, what excuses does this side have to put up shambolic performances week after week after week after week? And then some delusional fans actually back in the manager, back in the players, saying, "This is Madrid. We don't switch on until February." Oh, I knew that. I used to fight with you, Farooq, if you remember, a couple of years back, saying, it takes the round of 16 for us to wake up. But can we even actually rely on that with the side? I don't see any signs of, oh yeah, we have gears to go. The commentator saying, oh, this Madrid side has at least 3-4 gears to go. Where the fuck are the gears, Farooq? This is a gearless operation.
Yeah, this is the point, like as you rightly pointed, like for me at the beginning of the season, I felt like there were signs whereby, you could see what the coach was trying to do, like the things, what they're trying to, implement in the team. But honestly, like, yeah, the past 4 or 5 games, even the Barcelona games included, like, nah, you could see that this team is so disjointed. And that begs the question, like, is it the information that's being passed from the manager to the players that's not being clear enough or what? Because just look at the situation today, like with the goals that we conceded. Like they were very stupid and like a disco defending. We're equalizing, Judy is scoring, and it's becoming 2-2. Literally from the kickoff, Rafa Mir has a chance. Literally from the kickoff,
Rafa Mir has become
2-2.
one of the worst players in La Liga. Okay, he used to be good, but now he's utter gobshite. If he has a better touch, Farooq, that's a goal.
Exactly, absolutely. Literally from that. We equalize, like, okay, Hoyson got the goal back 1-1. But they looked likely to score their second goal than we actually scoring our second goal, you understand? So basically the team has become like it's Mbappe or nothing. If Mbappe doesn't score, we don't win. This is just the story of it. Like you look at the team is so disjointed. In the first half, I was just wondering, okay, what are they trying to do with Frank Garcia and Carreras? And
he's
then
literally being ignored. Frank Garcia is basically a walking cone.
And then I'm thinking to my mind, like, if I understand the whole Vinicius Junior is this, and like the whole South American thing, and then you have Fede Valverde is injured or not, but like, bro, play Kylian Mbappe on the left and Gonzalo Garcia to the middle. Play Kylian Mbappe on the left and Endrick through the middle. Simple math. It doesn't require rocket science. Simple, just
Mbappe
like
can't be played down the left, Farooq. Sorry. He's too big to be played on the wing. It's too big.
I mean, I don't know, man. Honestly, the point is play Gonzalo Garcia on the wing, then. Play Brahim Diaz on the wing. If whatever it is, play an attacker in an attacking position. Why do you have to have two left backs playing on the pitch? You look at the other situation with Trent Alexander-Arnold. I mean, I've said this. I love Trent to the core. And the problem with Trent is that unless you're masking his deficiencies and maximizing what he does, he's an absolute negative. And I've said that I feel like at Real Madrid, Trent is going to be like sacrificed. He's going to be killed. And today's game was a prime example.
To be fair, he had a couple of decent balls, Farooq.
Come on, bro,
I thought he was one of the better players.
Are you bringing Trent in to just give a couple of decent balls?
No. I'm just saying he was one of the better players.
The first goal was absolutely. The first goal was. I mean, there should be. The point I'm trying to make is like it's always like a check and balance with Trent, right? Okay, there's gonna be that kind of first goal, and there's gonna be passes to Kylian Mbappe where like he kicked straight at Iñaki Peña, So, but the point is, it's just one. It's two. Like we need players to stretch the pitch and allow Trent to do his stuff. But then Trent is taking the ball and he's running and running. There is no one. Trent is not Carvalho. He's not Marcelo, man. He's not going to run with the ball. Just give him the ball. Give him 1 second. He swings the ball, and that's just it. He's not the most athletic player. I mean, I don't know, man, how fast Trent runs, but I'm assuming soon if we go on the pitch right now with Trent, we're not going to look out of place, man. He's running, but it looks like he's jogging, bro. But that's just how he is. Like, there is nothing you can say. There is nothing you can say about that. So this is the thing, like if you have a player like Trent, like it's either you try to maximize what he gives you. I know, like Trent is a very one-dimensional player, but the point is that he does what he does so well that it's worth it. But the point now becomes that if you're not able to put him in those positions, then bro, just don't even get in the business. Don't even get in the business.
100%. Since we're on the first goal, Farooq, I mean, walk us through it. the play for Elche's attacks, not just the goals. I mean, there were a few chances that we should have been on the back end of a 4-0, if I'm being
Yes.
honest. Because if you
Yes.
look at the goals we scored, how fucking scrappy it was, we looked like a fucking tier 3 side, segunda, tercera side, playing against the big boys in white. Funnily enough, Elche, the intricacy, with their passes, the way they kind of, off the ball, they kind of shuffle the packs. Insane, Canteranos, Alex Fabers, who used to be with us, till at least like 2017-18, if I'm not mistaken. Victor Chust, who was here until 2021 or 2020 season. All these guys putting on a show. Hector Ford, a Barcelona reject. All these guys turning up. Our biggest example is, of course, Alvaro Garcia, who is a lanky 6'6" guy who is allowed to dribble with the ball for a good 10 yards before anyone says, "Oh fuck," should we intercept? Should we, show him out wide? It is pathetic. It is pathetic. I mean, the first goal, you could say at least, yeah, it was an ingenious back heel, but them getting there in the first place into dangerous positions time and time again is concerning enough. But that we can at least give it to the brilliant back heel, and of course, Fabers finding the back of the net. But Alvaro Garcia's goal, Farouk, how does Raul Asensio, Hausen, and who the fuck it was over there give him so much space? I never understood that. Even Thibaut is thinking, yeah, my defenders are going to close him down. Surely they're going to close him down. They're going to close him down any second. But he lets us shot off anyway with his favored foot as well.
Yeah.
Farouk,
I mean, I can
football.
understand, like, because I was on the commentary, I was watching from ESPN, they were talking about, like, oh, Thibaut should have done better. But the point is, like, he got flat-footed. Like, he wasn't expecting the shot because, bro, like, I don't know, man, like, that shot should not have come up in the first place. And also, when you look at actually what happened, again, I go back to Trent again as well in his defensive deficiencies. When you look at actually what happened, Alvaro Garcia is coming towards Asensio. Normally, there should be someone who is providing cover from the right-hand side as well. But there is no one providing cover from the right-hand side. Then what's happening, like, not to, like, Asensio was, like, absolute shite in that situation. But actually, the point was that he was trying to put himself in the place that, okay, if he goes right, I should be able to cover that as well. Normally, if his right back had actually come in to, like, provide him a bit of a backup, then he'll be able to commit more to, to, like, going on Garcia himself, you understand? So it's all shambolic defending all around. Like, you see the way, like, they let him just keep putting the ball from one leg to the other leg, and eventually have the shot taken off. It's really sad, like, and honestly, so credit to Elche. And as I said at the beginning, it felt like a loss, and I feel like for them also it feels like an opportunity missed, because, like, they literally had us on the ropes, man. Don't forget, man. If you remember, I think in the first 15-20 minutes they had, like, 2 absolutely good chances. Where I think
3 big chances in the first 40 minutes for Elche. I've written it down.
There was the one where, like, Rafa Mir shot directly at Thibaut, and then there was
one of the famous shots you'll see all season. If he gets any sort of power on that, it's a guaranteed finish. Guaranteed. Exactly. And do you remember what the fuck happened leading up to it? Alvaro Carreras is thinking he's fucking Marcelo. I'm done with this guy. Get these fake mans out of my club. People celebrating Alvaro Carreras and Hausen like they're the next big things. I'm sorry to tell you guys, I've seen enough of these players to know these guys, they might have a couple of good games, but they can't really back it up. They might be inexperienced, young, but come on, man, this is the time to step up. If you fail here, it's going to be tainted on your CV forever. If you fail at Madrid, I'm telling you, it's curtains. I feel for Hausen, who's especially only 20. These men should be seizing the opportunity, being aggressive, being smart, man.
Actually, bro, the point actually here, Sunil, come back to the fact that Real Madrid changed the policy, and right now we are reaping the rewards of that. The policy has always been you find players who are, like, senior players who have fought for stuff and won stuff in their life.
Yeah.
Which of the players we bought have actually fought and won stuff? Trent only, maybe. Heusen is coming from he's a reject from Juventus, went to Roma, played for Bournemouth. The best they can hope for. At Bournemouth, like, you lose 5 games on the trot, no one gives jack shit. Carreras is a reject from Atletico Madrid, Manchester United, and he went to Portugal with Benfica, right? You look at all that,
Yeah.
like you look at all these players, like, and then you put into context what the other players you brought in. We brought in Toni Kroos after winning the World Cup and the Champions League. You understand? You bring in like players like Cristiano Ronaldo. You bring in players like
James
Xavi
Rodriguez, player
Alonso.
of the tournament.
Like so you bring in
Mm,
players that have competed at the highest level for the biggest trophies that existed. But right now,
mm,
show me one player we bought other than Kylian Mbappe, and then Kylian Mbappe, Rudiger, Alaba,
yeah.
and Trent. Now there
Mm,
is no Rudiger, there is no Alaba in the team. We have just two players who literally are members of the first 11 who have actually fought for stuff and know how it is to fight for stuff, have fought for stuff consistently. You look at the midfield, it's
yeah.
a midfield of Fede Valverde, Chouameni, Arda. I'm sorry, but like, who is that intimidating?
Mm. Yeah, the midfield,
Don't
man. The
don't don't
midfield
don't
that
for-
started today.
don't
Mm,
even go to KCM. Don't go to KCM. We had
yeah.
Xavi Alonso, Sami Khedira, and Mesut Ozil.
Mm,
Khedira, Ozil were coming off of a World Cup winning. They're World Cup winners. We had Xavi Alonso, World Cup Euro winner, who won multiple titles with Liverpool, competed for the Premier League with Liverpool. You understand? And then
mm,
all of a sudden now, like you're looking at the players that we have, and these are players that actually are not used to like competing at the highest level. They're not players that
we are not
could tell us
saying
to.
we are not saying such players shouldn't be signed. It should be a nice balance, right?
Of
Like we,
course,
we
of
can't we
course.
can't completely fill up with
No, no, no. I mean,
tried
come
and
on.
tested veterans, right? I
Marcelo
mean,
came,
mm,
Marcelo came, Gonzalo Higuain came, Dani Carvajal
mhm,
came through, Sergio Ramos came through. Like this is the thing, but like they came, and as you said, it's a balance, right? They
mhm,
came and they played with these players. I mean, why was Fede Valverde so good? Because he was playing with Luka Modric and Toni Kroos. You understand? Why was
yeah,
Casemiro so good? Because he was playing with Toni Kroos and Luka Modric. So this is the point. There is a balance there. But the point now is that you're just waking up and it's like we have this Brazilian wonder kids. It's Vinicius Junior and Rodrigo. Vini hasn't scored or assisted, I think, in 10 games now. Okay, what are we discussing about?
Rodrigo hasn't scored a goal since January, in the league.
So, like, what are we? I mean, this is
Mm.
the first time I'm hearing this from attackers. Even when we were slighting Gareth Bale, oh, he doesn't care, he doesn't do this. Bro, man still scores an assist once in like every 2 games, man.
Yeah.
So this is the point. Like, you look at right now the team, like, I know for sure a lot of
Mm.
times the
Yeah.
message that has been passed either from Mourinho, from Carlo Ancelotti, from Zidane to these guys, they have adapted and like refined this message on the team. Even sometimes they don't even expect the coach to give them information. But the question now
Mm.
becomes this: do you actually believe that a player like with this core we have Vinicius, Jude Bellingham, Kylian Mbappe, Fede Valverde, and these guys, they can actually sit down and try to readjust. Okay, this is the plan. It's not working. Let's go to the right. The left is not working. Let's go to the right. How many times have we seen this in the last 5 years? Maybe once, two, three times. How many times have you seen actually, okay, the left is
Mhm.
not working. Let's switch to the right. We played
Yeah.
the whole of last year with them just running through the left, running in, eating
Mm.
brick walls, brick walls, brick walls. Today it's the same thing. You have an attacker just going into 4, 5 players. Bro, calm down. Just lift your head and look around.
Yeah, I mean it's game awareness, Farouk. Like we always blame the left hand side for being so clogged up. It's Vinicius hogging the ball, is Mbappe drifting to the left. But today we saw that it was Fran Garcia, and nobody wants to fucking give him the ball. They're like, oh shit, it's Fran. Let's not give him the ball there. What is he going to do there? He's a wing back, right? So the play is completely concentrated on the right, and boom, it's the exact same situation again. Role reversed. That's it. It's yeah, it's beyond pathetic, man. That's why I've been saying ever since the start of the season. Although again, I'm a dumb guy to predict us winning the fucking Champions League, right? That we are not a serious operation. We don't look like we want to win games. We don't have the intensity to win games. Elche, credit to them. They have been one of the better sides in La Liga. One of the top three possession heavy sides in La Liga. They play a brand of football that people can back. They're fearless. They take their game to anyone. I've seen them nick a draw away at the Metropolitano. Last month or a couple of months back, if I'm not mistaken. These guys, they are known to actually play good football, right? And that's the worrying thing for me, Farouk, right? These games, even when we won, the league during Carlos' first in his return to the club. I mean, in his first season, in his return to the club, we lost away at Espanyol. This can happen, right? Coming off of the international break, this can happen. But we have seen enough evidence, and I've been screaming, this team just doesn't have the mentality or the game awareness. Like Farooq just pointed out, players just, their heads are down. They don't know what the fuck is happening around them. All these, so handsomely paid top professionals, they lack game awareness. They lack, basic awareness of what's going on around them. It's super concerning. If Elche can put us over like this, what will the top sides? I mean, Liverpool on one leg, Liverpool basically in a fucking wheelchair could have scored 4-5-0 against us, right? They got beaten by Nottingham. Was it 3-0, Farooq, at the weekend?
Yeah, 3-0.
They got beaten 3-0 by City. They got turned over everywhere they went. But when it came to us, all of a sudden they have the best players in the world. They look like they're going to score, on every counter. Farooq, this is a situation I think which I'll be alone. So that's gonna be untenable come January. Because if we lose to Man City, which is completely probable, Man City don't look convincing themselves, but I do think we are the worst top sides in quote unquote, because we are not a top side. I don't believe we are a top side. I don't believe we have, enough in us to actually be labeled a top side. But when it comes to the big sides, who have the big name, the big history, we look far and away the worst. Whether it be set pieces, whether it be open play, whether it be basics of defending, or we look the worst. How can we bet on this team to actually go beat a top side?
Yeah, for now, no, you can't. You can't bet on that, man. Like you're gonna lose your money, honestly, because like some of the individual performances we have are absolutely shocking. Absolutely, you already highlighted, like Carreras. We talked about, Hoyson talks about, Asensio. Like it's absolutely shocking what that is, man. Honestly, like I really do hope like the return of Antonio Rudiger helps to create a bit of a sense of balance. Hopefully he can, create, I don't know, help.
Farooq, even Rudiger, I know he was playing through his injury, but is Rudiger going to help? I don't know, man.
I mean, the point here is this, like, honestly, for me, I think the first and the primary issue that we have right now, and it's actually, this is why, yeah, David Alaba is past it. You can't say anything. Like a player like of David Alaba's caliber, like would bring that calmness and leadership into this team. And that's something that actually right now, it's not about the fact that you have shitty players. No, it's about the fact that you need a general on the pitch. You need a leader on the pitch. And right now, we absolutely have none of that. And I knew that I was someone who said like, okay, it was the end of the line for Luka Modric, but now I understood that, okay, it wasn't actually. These players are not going to step up. Fede Valverde is not a captain. Dani Carvajal is not a captain. That's just the point. That is just the point. Even just for that presence that Luka Modric brought, we should have kept him on. The presence of Lucas Vazquez, we should have kept them, honestly. This is just the thing, like this is actually, we're now feeling actually the impact of the end of the era of the three-peat guys. You understand? Because after the three-peat, like, okay, Cristiano left, Gareth Bale left, this left, but we still had guys. We had Benzema at one point, you had Luka Modric and Toni Kroos at one point, you had Casemiro at one point, and they left and they left and they left. Now you have literally nothing left. Now you have none of them there, because when you make a first 11 of arguably the best players that we have individually, maybe Carvajal doesn't get in the pitch. You understand? So then it becomes like, oh yeah, basically there is none of those three-peat guys in there anymore. So like this is what we're liking. We're liking that leader, that general that's gonna be like, okay, guys, this is what we need to do. If you remember, like when Vini was first going through, we've seen a lot of instances where Kroos was actually instructing Vini where he should be. Even till the last season of Toni Kroos, you remember the goal he scored against Bayern? Literally, Kroos pointed him, go there.
Yeah.
You understand? So this is the point.
Since we are on this, Farooq, sorry to interrupt. Did you hear Kroos's comments on Vinicius over the international break?
Yeah, I heard that.
Toni Kroos, one of the leaders of the dressing room, right? 6-time Champions League winner. He played with Vinicius more than he played with Cristiano. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. For him to actually come out and say that, Germans can be blunt and they don't give a fuck, right? Germans are blunt people. But for him to actually come out and say that regarding a fellow professional and one of the team's standout stars in Vinicius, and clearly understanding the repercussions and the backlash that he's going to be getting, and to actually say that out loud, it's pretty concerning, Farooq. This is basically what the fans see fucking every week, right? I'm not bashing Vinicius because he did any of that shit tonight. He barely had any time to. But that just is another big sign why the dressing room is so fucking. It doesn't have any leaders. It doesn't have any balance. It doesn't have guys who are like, you know what, we need to regroup. This is not working. We need to buckle up. We need to actually fix up. Our performances are not good enough. Yeah, we actually might be winning, but this isn't convincing enough. Who are going to tell these man? Farooq, another thing I fear for Xabi Alonso is people are not going to respect him. And I clearly see it every game. He is not a respected man, Farooq. He's counting his days. I'm pretty certain at this point because unless we have a major shift in momentum, like a statement performance in one of the Champions League games, like a 5-0 thumping of City, and maybe if we get to the round of 16, a big win, a convincing La Liga run where we don't lose games, a Super Copa win. I don't know. Unless all these things align, Xabi Alonso is going to be in heavy scrutiny. Farouk, can you sit here and tell me that you are convinced by what we have seen for the past 4 months?
Nope, absolutely not. And that's the thing, like, it becomes this, if you remember, like, the way you started the podcast as well, like, these are players that were looking invincible literally just, I don't know, 18 months ago when they won the double as well, when Vini was, gunning for the UCL after Benzema left. So this is the point now. They'd come here and be like, bro, we have won so much without you. Why do we have to do all the bullshit that you're telling us? Until and unless, the players themselves start to see convincing results, like convincing output from what they're doing, this is going to continue like this. Like, he's going to continue to be undermined because Xabi Alonso as a player, okay, a great, phenomenal player. But as a coach, he was with Bayern Leverkusen and he won in Germany. Okay, yeah, but these guys are going to be like, we won 2 Champions Leagues, We won 2 league titles without you. So what are you preaching to us?
One more thing, Farouk. This is me basically. See, all this feeds into my psyche. I know we shouldn't let the fucking yellow pages in Spain, feed, negative narratives and all that. People have been constantly reporting that Xabi Alonso is a cold figure in the sense that he's, in a sense, you can understand. Yeah, Carlo was the father figure. He is, basically far and away the most comfortable with the players of the coaches that we have had. Even, going above and beyond Zidane himself, right? He's a true people's person. So you can imagine how there can be a complete, a shuffle up in the dressing room dynamics when it comes to Xabi Alonso, who was from the way he dresses, from the way he speaks, from how he was as a player, a dictator, a tempo controller, a deep lying, magician at his best. You can see how he can be a bit detached and how he can be a bit more, commanding and not really, putting his arm around players' shoulders and, reassuring them and whatnot. Can you see that being actually a problem with these players who have been accustomed to the likes of Zidane, who's much more? I'm pretty sure he's much more friendlier than Xabi Alonso, and of course Carlo Ancelotti. Do you think there might be friction in the dressing room that might be hampering his progress?
Absolutely, because actually I remember, like, you talk about this report. I remember very well now. I read something on the Athletic. I'm not sure if it was Mario, if it was Guillermo that actually wrote it, and he was saying, like, one of the players, like, and anonymously told them that Xabi Alonso thinks that he's Pep Guardiola, but he's only Xavi.
Yeah.
You understand? So this is actually the point, and that's actually the key thing here is that the club wanted to have a shift away from what Zidane and Carlo Ancelotti represented, in the sense that, okay, we want more discipline, because the point is we need discipline in this team.
Yeah, for sure.
Bellingham, Vinicius, Kylian Mbappe, and just, all those guys. We need discipline on this team. So the point is that we wanted to shift away from that Friends FC family mentality to just a more, not authoritarian per se, but like going back to the era of the Mourinho, where, like, okay, the hierarchy, this is the boss, and this is how things were going after that. So I think this is what the club wanted to achieve. But the problem now is that Mourinho joined Real Madrid on the back of winning a treble. He basically was Jesus. He was walking on water.
Special one.
Exactly. He was, and don't forget, like he won the treble with that masterclass against Barcelona. You understand? So like his stock could never have been higher in his whole life. He basically was Jesus. But the point now is that you bring Xavi, which is like a young coach without a proven pedigree. Like it's difficult to achieve this with a coach like Xavi. That's why I felt like, okay, I don't like Thomas. Like I believe that Thomas Tuchel would not have succeeded at Real Madrid, but he would have been
because of his management.
Exactly, but
is
he would have been
pretty
able
poor.
to create that, that level of discipline that was actually needed. You know, a coach like Antonio Conte, you bring him. Conte is like a mercenary. He's just a gun for hire for 1 month.
He'll win you a couple of leagues and boom, that's it. He's gone.
18 months, 2 years maximum, he's gone. But the point is that he would also be able to, like, the reason why I bring this name up is that, like, these are big names. These are like coaches that are respected throughout the game.
Tried and tested, proven.
Exactly. So, but like, Xavi is not there yet, so like this is the reason why it would always be difficult.
People would ask you, Farouk, then what about Zidane? Who, if you remember, he was coming into criticism for his management in Castilla as well. Who he wasn't necessarily having, a dreamy run, a rosy run with Castilla. So people were really, really hesitant about Zidane as well. But when I meet my friends or people who ask me, oh, so what about Zidane? Zidane is a completely different equation. He is a living fucking, like, he's as equivalent to God himself in Madrid, right, Farouk? I mean, these two guys can't be further apart.
And also, like, one thing you should not forget about Sinead is that Zidane's going ascension to being the first team coach was a natural progression. He was a director of football. He was involved in bringing players like Karim Benzema to the team. He was a guy who was, he was a guy who was scouting Dani Carvajal when he was going to Germany with Leverkusen. He was involved in bringing him back into the team. He was involved with promoting, Achraf Hakimi up to the first team. He was involved in the decision of bringing Theo Hernandez. So Zidane was involved already with this set of players. He was director of football. He was involved in like renewing the contract with this guy.
Assistant to Carlo.
Exactly. He was assistant to Carlo, director of football. He was also now the head of the Castilla. So like he was already like aware of the day-to-day activities of these guys. So for him, it was a natural ascension into that. And the key point here is that they are two different characters. Now we're talking about the fact that one of the coaches, Xavi, is trying to create a sense of, okay, I'm the boss and you have to follow what I have to do. And then you have the other guy in Zidane who was basically friends with this guy. Like he was there chilling with Marcelo literally every week. You could see like post of Marcelo or whatever, or the Real Madrid post, like he was chilling with Marcelo and Sergio Ramos literally every week. You understand? So like I think the approach also matters here. Like the approach was also different. And as you rightly pointed out, like the statue that Zidane had in Madrid is way, way, way higher than whatever Xabi Alonso had. I mean, it's like 1 million times more than whatever Xabi Alonso had with Real Madrid.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So like there is a difference there. Like I don't think Real Madrid is calling Xabi Alonso to sign when they want to sign a player to help them lobby. They call.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's like, the perfect example for
them. Like, okay, we want to sign a player. Okay, call this guy. And
we want you here for the press, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think there are levels to that, So that's just it.
People hearing this would completely think we are we are talking absolute shite because we are actually glossing over the fact that we don't have a functioning midfield. We don't have a functioning attack. That's not on Xabi Alonso. I've said this way too many times. That the recruitment have let so many managers down. Right? Carlo is a literal fucking genius to actually make this work and win 2 Champions Leagues in 3 years, 2 doubles in 3 years. It is unheard of. It will be unheard of, at least in my lifetime, I'm pretty sure. To work with that squad, which didn't have a striker, right, especially post Benzema, to do what he did, I hope people now understand the value of what Carleto brought to this side. Because if you look at what Xabi Alonso has at his hand, his best midfield, Farouk, what is it? Tchouaméni, right? You could say Jude Bellingham, Arda Güler. This is his go-to midfield. Arda Güler, yes, to an extent, right? He can do something, but the rest, can they actually really create, something out of nothing in a game that looks like it's going nowhere? Okay, let me take control of this game. Let me provide that killer assist. We saw Trent do that a couple of times. I wish our players, in midfield can do a couple of passes like that. We never see shit like that, Farouk. I was watching the North London derby. Arsenal, you see gazillion memes of Haram Ball Arteta. Haram Ball Arteta, him, being Al Qaeda's leader. These guys are balling out. Balling out, Farouk. What are we doing? What are we doing? If we face Arsenal again this season, can you put money on our side to beat them?
Nope, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it's sad because you look at that and you look at a player like Martin Zubimendi, it's someone that we could have used a lot in our midfield, but
I wasn't a big fan of Martin Zubimendi, I'll be honest. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, the point is, I've said this, it's not like Zubimendi is I also don't feel like Zubimendi is like a world beater or a world class player or stuff like that. But the point is that he offers you a different kind of profile to what we have. You understand? He offers you a different profile to what we have, and you at least have this player that can help to recycle. And I mean, the Steeler guy they're talking about from Stuttgart, more or less, that's has a very similar profile to Zubimendi as well.
Still didn't want to leave Germany, but come on, man, we have to be serious. We have to be really looking at, I'm pretty sure when these guys, if I keep going on and on about, whatever is off the pitch, but I'm telling you, what we are seeing week in, week out has a lot to do with what is happening outside the pitch. Perez comes on and saying, oh yeah, we have a very, cost conscious operation. Yeah, cost conscious operation is gonna win us fuck all this season, Farouk. Fuck all, man, Farouk. Even a Barcelona that was basically, on their feet. Let's be honest, right? They actually could have won at the Bernabeu. Liverpool, who's getting, slapped left, right, and center. We made them look like one of the best sides in Europe on form. They're the worst side in Europe on form. They're worse than us. I don't know, man. I don't know. We don't have a functioning team to actually compete. I can't go outside and talk to my mates. They're laughing when they see me because our team isn't serious, man. I'm telling you, if we are playing Madrid next week, nobody gives a fuck anymore. Farouk, this is the honest truth of the matter. When people are looking at the calendar and they see Madrid, they're like, come on, man. If we shut out Vinicius Mbappe, game over. Game over. Jude Bellingham, nah, he's not on it. Arda Güler, I don't know. Their midfield, bunch of cowards. You put them under pressure. Remember, Farouk, when Hausen is basically behind Rafa Mir, right? He's trying to anticipate the flight of the ball. He flicks it onto... Who was it? Andre Silva?
Andre Silva, yeah.
Enough said. Let me get a few other comments and slowly start wrapping this up. Ashik was mentioning we need the win, and this these guys are trying to figure out who should play the ball up. Idiots discussing defense and balanced midfield, and if Mbappe doesn't score, we can't find other avenues. Mbappe should have scored at least a brace today. At least a brace. The Trent ball, I mean, there was a hint of offside. But come on, man, Farouk, you are 5 yards from your goal, Farouk. 5 yards from your goal.
Yep. I mean, you have to score that and let the referee decide if it's offside or not. You have to give the referee a decision to make. That's just it. You have to absolutely finish that.
No, he's not thinking about if he's offside or not, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Mbappe, we can't criticize him because he's our best player. But come on, we created enough. There was one more chance, Farouk. I can't remember. I'm trying to kind of go through my notes. There was one more chance. He was basically through on goal. Yeah. Down the right, if you remember, Arda Güler played a long ball. Man took 4 elephant touches.
Yes.
Mbappe is supposed to be the best. He's supposed to be the best, he's not. He doesn't have the best touch in terms of dribbling. He doesn't have the Vinicius touch to actually manipulate the ball in close spaces. But when he's sprinting through on goal, I would expect him to take 2 decent touches, especially the fucking final touch to actually unleash the shot. Man,
the final touch was too heavy, and he gave the goalkeeper
500k, Farouk. 500k. We have to put up with all this. It's insane. Elche, credit to them. The fans were up for it. This isn't even this is not El Sadar, right? This isn't the Vallecas. This isn't the Metropolitano. This isn't even the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. This is fucking Elche, man. They're a decent side. They have a few, ex-Barcelona, ex-Real Madrid players in their ranks. They try to play decent football. They're brave. They're not even sitting back to make it difficult for us. No. But yet we crumble under pressure. It's insane to me. It's insane to me. Ashik was mentioning, what the fuck does Rodrigo provide? I have no clue. I mean, he had a couple of decent shots. Man has zero confidence. If you remember, he had the first promising chance we had, a pop shot with his left foot, over the bar. But overall, Farouk, his time is up, right? Time is up. Time to go. He was the love of my life in terms of Madrid. After Di Maria, he was the player I loved the most. But what can you say? Yeah, when you see a man who doesn't believe in himself, he doesn't. Yeah, sorry side, to be honest. He was saying at least Vinicius can still be a sharp knife and a threat. Rodrigo is a butter knife taking up space. Yeah. Vinicius, is he that much better? I don't know. He can come up with the goods, in some games. But if you remember, Vinicius is basically running into four men immediately after coming on. From the right side of the box, he's running into a wall of players. What is his thought process, Farouk? What is he fucking thinking?
And there was actually a situation also like where Kylian Mbappe actually lead the ball off to him rather than just sitting it first time. He took it, bringing it.
Yeah, takes a touch like he's fucking Cristiano. Like, I'm telling you, these guys think they're better than themselves at times. Now you realize, right? The Cruises of this world made them look better. Jude Bellingham, who was on the end of the final ball, the fox in the box. Credit to him. Again, his instinct, his desire to actually be on the end of it. He hits the volley, comes back to him, and he taps it in. I mean, that is a striker's instinct. Why can't we fucking use him as striker? Why can't we use him? Why can't we use him, Farouk? Because he's useless in midfield. Like, he can't create for shit. Yeah, he can, do a double pirouette and get away from a couple of men. But that's it. He can't unlock a defense. He just cannot. So why can't we rely on his greatest strength, that is, being a big physical presence, who is nimble with his feet, who can finish decently, who has decent heading ability as well? Why can't we use that?
Yeah, man, that's just it. I think that's that's I don't know. I feel the way to get value from Jude is just that. Otherwise, as you said, I don't see any other women, at least for now. Just push back to like the strikerless era we had when Benzema left. Jude was there, false nine. Just throw him there. Honestly, just throw him there, like Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius like play on the wings. That's just the thing right now, because there is no creative output, and as you said, you're just wasting his talents. Just, I don't know. It's insane, man. Like, I think there's a lot of working out that needs to be done with this squad, honestly. And like, I don't know.
I genuinely do believe
disconnect.
Yeah, Farouk, I genuinely do believe. Again, this would think I'm slating Mbappe. I think there is politics involved where Mbappe can't be moved out onto the left. He can't play second fiddle to a striker. I do feel this is the way, but people are not understanding the bigger picture. If Mbappe is out wide and Jude Bellingham is holding up two man, he can basically bend it from outside, take a shot, bend it in. Have you seen Mbappe finesse? It's one of his biggest weapons. Best traits. Cutting in from the left, bang top corner. That's one of his best moves. But have we ever really seen him do that? No. Because he's basically chasing shadows down the middle. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Sometimes I almost feel like, Xabi Alonso's men, and even largely Carlo's men during last season, I think it's due to political pressure, because I used to speak to Francesco, and he used to show me fucking pages and pages of, how a particular move should pan out, where each player should be. There are zones that are like, even in the final third, phase 3, it's divided into 4 zones for people, for a particular player to attack. Like, I almost think like all these guys, ever since Mbappe arrived, they're not even looking at the footage. They're just going with the belief that he is going to actually be the guy we need down the middle. He cannot be. He's far and away our best goal scorer, but he needs to have a better starting position than down the middle. Yeah, I'm more than exhausted. Bigger Metro TV, he was mentioning we got outplayed by Elche. We made Elche look like prime Barcelona. This ain't right. Ashik was mentioning there's a disconnect have always been between the club and the big players. I think you mentioned and the first team management. We signed managers with a certain blueprint, but gave them players that don't fit. Only Carlo managed well. Some of the players are showing the wrong attitude and dedication, almost self-entitled, while some are trying, but their effort is getting overshadowed by inept players. Dean and Asensio are both young and inexperienced. No leader to guide them. Carreras is suffering from the same problem. We have no midfield general. We have midfield, gobshite, basically. Yeah. See, this is one of the the biggest problems that exist for Xabi Alonso, and I'm pretty sure he's having sleepless nights because of that. When we watch Barcelona, Farouk, you have seen Barcelona, right, in the Champions League as well, in some of the high profile games. When we watch them, they're very susceptible to attacks, right? It all it takes is one decent ball in behind their defense for the for an opposing attacker to actually have a 1v1, almost a 1xg chance, right? But since look at what Ashik is saying. If both Barcelona and Madrid are struggling, and if the Clásico happens today, we are getting hammered. Clearly, we are getting hammered. And why is it? Why is it? You could argue Flick is into his third year with the process at Barcelona. Fair enough. But what are we doing? 4 months into a so-called process, what have we done actually to even remotely claim the fact that we have had some sort of standing ground? We have had some sort of stability to actually fall back on. There's nothing. Ashik was adding Mbappe is not innocent in this match, but if Mbappe is having an off day, then where are the other options? Cristiano used to have rare off days. Benzema picked up the pieces. Benzema had off days. Vinny filled in. Jude is the only one that tried, but that German in England, Thomas Tuchel. I don't know. It's just the press. I don't think Tuchel is going to downplay the importance of Jude Bellingham. That's bullshit. I think it's just the press looking for some spare money. Daily Mail especially. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We play Olympiacos midweek. Farouk, any final thoughts?
Man, I mean, the point is we have 3 away games. Like we play Olympiacos, we play Girona, and then we play we go to San Mames, and that's the thing. Like it seems like we can perform away from home, so it's going to be really, really interesting, especially when we play Athletic Bilbao in the coming days. Because like I don't know, man. Like I'm not too confident about what we're seeing so far. But yeah, let's see. I think maybe the Champions League is going to give us a bit of a respite. We travel to Greece, we play Olympiacos. Maybe we might be able to see some better performances from the players. But fingers crossed, man. Honestly, like
worst case, we lose that game, Farouk. What's the reception going to be for Xabi Alonso?
I mean, if we lose that game, man, it's gonna be very bleak because after that, I think the next game is in the UCL is against Man City, and it's gonna be at the Bernabeu. So you can imagine Haaland scoring early on, and then we're gonna be basically on the verge of getting out of the top 16 and looking towards the playoffs and all that shit again. So yeah, I think it's a lot of everything. Like all the goodwill is gonna expire more or less. I think we lose to Olympiacos if we don't win. Let's say at the San Mames as well. I think all the goodwill that Xabi Alonso has had so far is gonna like the credit in the bank is gonna evaporate, man, and the white hankies are gonna be out, and the pressure is gonna pile up.
Yeah. I think we meant top 8, not top 16, right?
No, I mean top 16, because the point is if you don't win at Olympiacos, you don't win at Man City. Or
no. Wait. I'm getting confused. So the top 8 gets direct qualification, right? Or top 16 gets direct qualification. Top 8 gets direct qualification.
Top 8 gets direct qualification. But the point is, like, if you're at least in the top 16, you still get the home advantage and all that for the playoffs. But then once you go down, You start, you start from the back foot more or less.
I can't think of all that because we don't deserve to really be thinking of all that. We can't dream big with this team. We are supposed to be the biggest club of the world, the club that is, the sort of the home of the glitterati, the home of the best players, the best managers, the best, stadium, you name it. But yeah, whatever is happening on the pitch isn't fitting, what we represent, unfortunately, at this moment in time. But yeah, man, bigger people in the chat, bigger people tuning in later on as well. We won't be having a preview for Olympiacos. I'll try to find a guest, but yeah, it'll be pretty much impossible to find an Olympiacos fan who runs the channel. But I'll give it a shot. But yeah, we'll be here for the post match. Hopefully, we have a better, you know, we have a better post match and better things to say. All the big guns will be back in the lineup. The likes of Vinicius who were rested. So yeah, fingers crossed. Xabi Alonso, time is ticking, my man. Time is ticking. I pray for you. I'm going to start praying really, really hard for you because you need it. It seems like you need it more than the players, because at the end of the day, the players are going to win at Madrid. But yeah, until next time, people. Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.